to you about how to care for your rabbit. How to care for your rabbit will consist of many different parts. We're going to touch on a variety of topics, some of which will be basic health considerations, giving medications, housing, diet, importance of spay and neuter, social needs, hygiene, bunny-proofing your home, handling your rabbit, and relaxing your rabbit. Caring for your rabbit is probably filled with a lot of different misconceptions for those who have never ever had a rabbit before. Rabbits are very busy animals. They're very creative. They are not low maintenance, and they will stay with you for quite some time. The best thing to do is get a hold of and find a vet that you feel comfortable with, that you can talk with, because that will truly let you enjoy your rabbit and make sure that you keep them happy and healthy for the rest of their life. Friends of Rabbits is a group that's currently in the Washington metropolitan area. I'm the Vice President of Projects. We're an all-volunteer nonprofit organization, and we do help with education, rehabilitation, and getting rabbits out and adopted to new homes, such as this rabbit who's currently up for adoption. There's a lot to learn on how to care for your rabbit, so why wait? Let's get started.
Okay, one of the most important things you can feed your rabbit is hay. And as vets we say, hay, hay and more hay. Basically, hay is the most important food for rabbits, and it's because of the way that their teeth work. They need to be constantly eating something that grinds down these teeth that continue growing throughout their life. As well as hay, you can give them freshly pulled grass, not cut grass but pulled grass, and also make sure they've got a very good supply of water as well. There are a few vegetables that you can feed your rabbit as well, but be careful not to feed too many salad items like lettuce, peppers, because these aren't very good for rabbits in high quantities. Make sure lots of plenty fresh, leafy green vegetables are given, and if you're going to give carrots, only small amounts, and preferably with the tops on them as well. If you are going to change your rabbit's diet, it is very important that you go speak to your veterinary surgeon, because rabbits are very sensitive to changes in diet, and this must be done gradually.
Okay, so now I'm going to show you how I would do a general health check on a bunny rabbit. This is Daisy. Okay, so the first thing is I need to be really careful that Daisy's nice and calm and not too stressed out, because rabbits are very stressed animals, especially somewhere that's not their home. Okay, so again, the first thing now I'm going to check is the head end. So I'm going to start really by just looking at the eyes, making sure that they haven't got weepy eyes or nothing in that area. Okay, no redness of the eye. Then check their little nose, and again make sure that there's no runny nose at all, and then slowly down to the teeth. Okay, so we need to make sure that the teeth are nice and not too long, and there's no actual sores or bits of drool around there. Okay, now I'm going to move on to the ears. Again, we need to make sure that there's no pain around the ears, and no sort of bad smell. So it's really important to check both of them. Okay, well done, Daisy. Okay, so the next thing is, again, we need to check their little claws. Okay, we need to make sure that they're not too long and that they haven't got any sores or they're not painful for the rabbit. So it's important to do that for all 4 legs. All right. The next thing I'm going to do is listen to Daisy's heart and lungs. Good girl, Daisy. Good girl. Okay, so it all sounds fine. Now the next thing is important to have a good feel along her body and make sure that there are no lumps or bumps or any signs of scabs or anything like that, and have a feel underneath, have a feel at her little tummy. Okay. Now the last bit, which is really, really important that you do this at home as well, is just to check her bottom. Okay, and the reason for that is just to make sure that there's no mess around there, because sometimes flies can get there and lay their eggs and then they get very, very sick. So it's very important to make sure that this area of your rabbit is very, very clean. Okay, so Daisy's very, very healthy, and that's it. Good girl.
How to care for your rabbit, and we are going to discuss giving medications. Giving medications can be difficult, however, it is doable, as being at home and not being at the doctor's office. We are going to try and help you learn of techniques that you can use to make those pills getting down a little easier. Now, currently we've been telling you the treats are not to be given regularly for an animal. However, if medications need to be given, treats seem to be the best way to look at it, because if you know that your rabbit is going to want to bite into a banana, which is his or her favorite treat, why not take a piece of that banana and then what you can do is, say you've been given a pill that you need to get down, you can hide this pill in the banana, and then there's a possibility it's going to get down because you know your bunny really loves having this banana. But there are other also treats you can use to incorporate with pills. For instance, if you have a smaller pill, you could be able to possibly pocket it into a raisin or a piece of dried fruit like an apple. At some point, you're going to have to ask your doctor if the pill that you're about to use can be crushed. If your rabbit is kicking the pill back out and spitting it, then you may need to look at making it more of a powdered consistency. And again, taking powder and being able to use the powder into a piece of fruit. And that's another way to try and administer that pill that you're having problems getting down. You can easily use a rolling pin with some weight very easily over that pill. Just a little bit of weight, easily crush it, don't have to roll. You could also take that same pill and crush it using an apothecary. Now, some of the ways you're going to have to give medications can be different. We're obviously talking about oral. There are also medicines you're going to have to give that are not going to be oral. Oral medications could also be given through this syringe. And if you are having problems with the medication you've been giving actually going down, you really want your rabbit to lick the medication out of the syringe on their own. However, that's not always possible. You can use alternatives like baby food or smoothie consistency fruits to be able to put in here and mix with the medication so that it gives them a consistency they like the taste of, and it still gets the medication down, which is truly what your goal is here. Now, sometimes you will find that you need to be able to feed your rabbit and they don't want to eat at all. That means no treats, they're not eating, and you need to be able to not only get medication down, but you need to be able to get some substance in them. You need to make sure that they are getting their nutrients. There are things, such as this critical care here, that you would take, mix with water. The portions are listed, and your veterinarian can provide you with an adequate amount you should use per day to supplement what they're not getting that they should be getting because they have failed to continue eating proper diet. Now, the rarity would be that your doctor would expect you to start giving medications under the skin or even have fluids like this one. If you have any questions on how to do this, or if you are prepped with having to do this, make sure you ask your veterinarian to run you through it so that you can make sure that you're comfortable with doing that at home. Obviously, that would include any type of medications you'd have to give under the skin. I'm sure that they would be willing to show you how to make sure that you're doing that properly so that when you go home, you're a little bit more comfortable than perhaps the doctor was giving it to your pet when they were at the veterinary clinic. These are some of the hints that you can use, especially if you have a rabbit that doesn't want to work real well with you. You can easily take a blanket or a towel like this one and wrap them up gently and hold their feet down so that you're not going to get scratched or kicked when you're trying to administer some of these medicines, because not necessarily do they taste well, but they may not go down real well, and you need to make sure that you are protecting yourself and the rabbit from either one of you injuring themselves. And these are just some things that you can think about when you have to give medication.